Welcome to The Explainer. We're here to take fascinating, big ideas, break them down, and hand you the tools so you can actually put them to work.
Just imagine for a second, you pick up the phone and that's the first thing you hear. Your entire world just grinds to a halt, right? It's pure chaos. And in that moment, every single word you say, every breath you take, could mean the difference between life and death. That is the world of a hostage negotiator. Well, today we are cracking open the playbook of a master of the craft, former kidnap negotiator Scott Walker. We're going to find out how his incredibly high-stakes techniques can help all of us bring a little order to our own chaos. You know, whether it's a battle in the boardroom or just a fight over the remote control. All right, so let's get right into it. To really get a handle on this, we first need to understand what's going on up here, in our heads, during any kind of stressful talk. I mean, why does it feel so impossible sometimes?
Well, it turns out when you get triggered, your brain doesn't really know the difference between a kidnapper's threat and, say, a really nasty email from your boss. It just freaks out. It's called the amygdala hijack. It's your ancient saber-toothed tiger survival system kicking in, flooding your body with stress chemicals.
And this right here shows the internal tug-of-war that happens. You've got your calm, logical, thinking brain, your cortex. But when stress hits, it gets completely steamrolled by your fast, impulsive, feeling brain, the limbic system. And this is key, because as Walker says, we aren't thinking creatures who feel, we're feeling creatures who think. I want you to remember this number, 90 seconds. That's about how long it takes for all those stress chemicals from an emotional hijack to flush out of your system. But, and this is a huge but, that only happens if you stop rerunning the negative story in your head that triggered you in the first place. So here's the billion-dollar question, right? How do you actually stop that story? How do you use that little 90-second window to bring some order back from all that internal chaos? Well, negotiators have a really powerful concept for this. They call it the red center. Now, in a real kidnapping, that's the physical command room. But what's so brilliant is how Walker reimagines it as a place inside you. It's a mental command center you can build, a place you can go to stay grounded and focused, even when everyone around you is totally losing it. And getting to this state, it's actually way simpler than it sounds. Step 1, just acknowledge the emotion, no judgment. Step 2, find where you feel it in your body. Is it a knot in your stomach, tightness in your chest? And step 3, just breathe into that feeling until it starts to loosen its grip. The whole point is to feel the feeling but completely drop the story that comes with it.
Okay, so you've found your calm, internal red center. Now what? How do you actually project that calm outward to influence a situation? Well, that is where the negotiator's secret toolkit comes in. These are the practical techniques to totally change the game in any conversation. You've probably heard this before, right? The famous Morabian study? But look at these numbers. When what you're saying doesn't match up with how you're saying it, people will always believe the nonverbals. Your tone of voice and your body language are basically shouting, while your words are just whispering. So how you say it is everything. Now, this is the exact step-by-step process that hostage negotiators use. And it's like a ladder. You can't just skip to the top. You can't jump straight to influence. You have to earn the right to be heard by first building this solid foundation of listening, empathy, and real rapport. Think of this as your new communications cheat sheet. The More P's acronym is just packed with these simple but powerful tools that make the other person feel safe, seen, and actually understood. Little things like just mirroring the last few words they said or labeling their emotion, like, it sounds like you're really frustrated. These can absolutely transform the dynamic of a conversation. Okay, but for any of this to actually work, negotiators live and die by this one critical distinction. Empathy is not compassion. Compassion is from the heart. You feel with them, and that can totally burn you out. Empathy is from the head. You understand their perspective, which lets you stay objective and actually find a solution. That is the secret to influencing effectively.
So let's tie this all together. How do we take all these high-stakes tools and start using them to turn our own daily conflicts into real opportunities? Opportunities for connection and for progress. To me, this is the most empowering idea of all. These skills, they're not for some special kind of person with a certain personality. As Walker says, repetition is the mother of all skill. Negotiation is a muscle. And the more you practice these things in small, low-stakes chats, the stronger that muscle will be when you really need it. You see that space that Viktor Frankl is talking about? That's it. That's your red center. That's your 90-second window. In that tiny little gap is all your power, the power to choose. Are you going to just react out of chaos? Or are you going to respond with calm, focused, powerful intention? At the end of the day, almost every conversation is a negotiation. So start practicing. Use these tools. You'll be amazed at the order you can create out of what feels like chaos. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer. The choice is now yours.